Hello everybody. I hope you're doing well. Today I thought I would do a video, 25 questions, so you can get to know me a little bit better. And they're not like the ones that are like, oh, what's your favorite color and whatnot. I picked some ones that are a little bit more like in-depth and thought-provoking. But they're still fun, I think, at least. So anyway, let's get right to it so this video isn't too long. First question. What does your ideal day look like? Well, I start my day every day the same, almost every day. Sometimes crap happens. But ideally, I wake up relatively, relatively early. I try to get up by 6 and I get my workout done. My workouts kind of range between 30 minutes and an hour. It just kind of depends on what I'm doing that day. And then I do some reading, whatever book I'm reading that day, I'll do that. And then I also have a gratitude journal and I write 10 things every day that I'm grateful for. And it just kind of sets me up in a positive manner. It puts me in a good place and I'm just a better human being when I get those things done. So that's kind of how I start my day. But after that, I think it would be just like going somewhere and having some kind of adventure. I love hiking. I love getting outdoors. I'm not like a big like amusement park or, like Dave and Buster's kind of a person. I personally like to like get out and do. So whatever kind of hair gets up my butt for that day. So I'm pretty simple. I don't really do a whole lot of stuff. I guess I just like getting out. That was really long-winded just to say to get out, huh? Sorry. Question number 2. What did you want to be when you were younger? Okay, so this is kind of like an evolution. I can recall in elementary school, you remember like when we had assemblies like in auditoriums and stuff? My dream was to be a teacher, but a teacher that could sign. So I would sit there and pretend to sign to my students, like when we'd be at an assembly or something. So yeah, as a kid, I really wanted to be a teacher. I didn't have any specific like grade. I just wanted to be a teacher. And then in high school, that evolved to wanting to be an RN. Both of those things I am not, unless you consider being a mom, a teacher, and a nurse. Anyway, question 3. Who are you inspired by and why? Okay, truth, I looked at these questions obviously before I did this and I was racking my brain like who on earth, and I realized that I'm not really inspired by one person. I am a person that loves knowledge and loves learning. I like to challenge my beliefs and my values and my morals all the time. So I do a lot of reading. So I would say that, philosophers, scientists, inspire me a lot. I love to read about like how our brain works. And like right now I'm reading a book on the science behind, trauma being passed down generations, like genetically. Like I just think things like that's fascinating. So I'd say like I'm inspired by things that are going to provoke my thoughts and test my beliefs and things like that. So I like to read a lot to do that. So I'm inspired by a lot of people, I would say. Question number 4. Who would you love to meet? What would I ask? Oh, okay. So I would love to meet like all of the like geniuses and like philosophers, but I would really, really love to meet Leonardo da Vinci, not only because he was like an artist, but he was a genius. He was also crazy, and maybe that's, thought to be crazy. But the real reason behind it, honestly, is because I'm kind of an Ancient Aliens junkie, and they talk about like how, his paintings could have like like musical notes in them, and like they would splash their like, you know, the I don't know what the term would be, like when they like flip the picture and stuff and it looks like an alien, and like he had hidden pictures in his pictures and so on and so forth. I would really want to ask him if he like knows something we don't, and if his paintings and all that, are they just supposed to be, you know, gorgeous paintings, or was there actual like math and science and music within them? I just think it's fascinating. So I'm kind of a nerd. I don't know if that's an appropriate term or not, but I'll go with it for now unless somebody tells me otherwise. Okay, question number 5. What habit would you most like to break and create? Okay, so the habit I'd most like to break is my like 0 to 100 and then I'm yelling. Like, I'm a very patient person, and then once I'm like over the edge, I'm screaming, and I don't like that about myself. And that's something that I've been working on for years, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm better at it now, but it still happens, and I would love to break that habit. A habit I'd like to create is ooh, that's a good question. What would I like to create? Habit I'd like to create. I think it would be like consistently getting up early and like not like falling back and be like, oh, I can just sleep for another hour. No, I need to get up like early every day, because it's much better for me when I can like get up and do the things that I said, like do my workout and everything without my kids bothering me. I'm a much happier human being when I can do those by myself. So I guess it'd be like consistency with certain things. Anyhow, question number 6. Think of a person you truly admire. What qualities do you like? Ooh, someone that I really admire. That's a hard question. I mean, admire, like somebody I truly admire. I guess I admire my mom. I mean, that sounded so like just, I do. I admire my mom. She's like the strangest. Wow. She is kind of strange, but she's the strongest person I've known. She went through so much as a child. And what I admire most about her is that instead of getting into relationships and like having kids and like trying to fix things that way, because it's a common thing. I mean, anyway, she took time to focus on herself and to heal herself before she had a family and whatnot. So I admire that about her. She's just so strong and just fierce. Like, she just does not give up. And I love that about her. All right, number 7. How do you like to relax? With quiet. When I put all my kids to bed and they're all sleeping, there's this like quiet in the house, and that just relaxes me. I also really like, I don't know what you call it, focused breathing. I guess like when you like, you know, you like breathe in and breathe out for the, you know, the same amount. Like when I'm having a hard time during the day, I will lay my butt on the floor and I will just breathe until it goes away sometimes. But for me, like what relaxes me the most is just quiet. Like if I could be in the mountains with just the silence and listening to everything around me. Oh, yes. Number 8. When was the last time you did something you were afraid of? Okay, now this is kind of left to interpretation. Like, scared the crap out of yourself fear, or like just like, because I think I do a lot of things that are, I'd like to push myself. If we're talking about like, I felt like I could crap my pants, a long time ago. I am not a horror movie person. and horror movies scare the living bejesus out of me. Like, yeah, so, but there aren't really like a lot of things in general that scare me. Like, I think the only thing that would like scare the crap out of me, like that I would really have to think about whether I could do it or not, is like jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, like skydiving. I think that would scare me, but not a lot really scares me. Like doing things, I think that's the only thing that would scare me. So I don't know that. Yeah. Anyhow, moving on. Question number 9. What are you most proud of? I am, that's another one. Like, do they mean of myself or in general? Like, I am so proud of my kids, but I'm a mom. And I think as a mom, like, we're all kind of proud. I mean, they could come home with like a rock they painted and we'd be proud. But if you're talking about myself, I'm most proud of the fact that I'm a survivor. I've been through so much, and I haven't given up, and I won't give up. So yeah. What am I most afraid of? Oh, I don't like huge spiders. I can do little spiders. Huge spiders, no. I am afraid of snakes, and flamingos kind of freak me out. I know it's kind of weird, but the only thing that freaks me out about them is their legs go backwards. And every time I see them, I can just like feel my knee, and it just, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I don't know if I'm afraid of them or they just like, ugh. I don't know what that word is. So yeah. And I think another thing I'm really afraid of is not saying everything I wanted to say to people before they die. Anyhow, moving on. 11. If life stopped today, what would you regret not doing? What would I regret not doing? I think I would regret like not saying no when I really should have said no. I'm working on it, but I tend to be like a people pleaser, and I really like go above and beyond for people, sometimes even at the expense of myself. So I think that's the only thing that like I regret, is not saying no when I should. 12. What would you love to connect, or not what, who would you love to connect or reconnect with, and why? I would love to reconnect with, and I can't, but if I could, it'd be my oldest son's dad. He passed away when my son was not even 1. And I miss him. I miss him a lot, and I miss our conversations, and I miss him for my son too, because, you know, that's a hole in his heart, and a piece of him that's gone. And I'd love to be able to reconnect with him and just have him here. 13. What qualities do you admire most in others? I admire a lot of things. I think mostly is communication. I can't stand when people can't voice what they want. I can't stand when they're not willing to have like a conversation with you. Yes, conversations are uncomfortable sometimes, but they're necessary. And especially in like a monogamous relationship, whatever monogamous relationship you're in, communication is so important. If you're not communicating frequently about everything, whether it's what you did that day or the big things or the small things, like all that communication is important. So somebody that can articulate their thoughts and are willing to do it, I admire, because I know it's hard, but it's necessary. 14. What practical skills do you wish you had? I wish I could like build and have a better understanding of power tools. I wish, because I would love to be able to make things for myself instead of have to buy them all the time. I mean, like, I can use a drill and a hammer and, basic things like that, but I just wish I had a better understanding of what's in my head, how it comes out, so I can make it. if that makes sense. Like, I think that would be so freaking awesome. 15. Wow, you're in your 90s. What memories would you like to have? What stories would you like to tell? I would like to have all the crazy freaking memories. Like, I would love to be able to tell people, yeah, I skinny dipped. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, I did that. Like, I think those are the funnest stories, and the funnest memories are the things that are just kind of like taboo or like crazy. Like, I went skydiving, or I jumped off a cliff, or I did this, or, you know, just the adventure, like having adventures and doing things that are like, you know, kind of dangerous. I think they make the best stories. Or, you know, like when you think you can do something and you couldn't, and it's kind of like the dumb stories, like, I thought I could do this and I was an idiot. Like, I think those are fun, and I would love to be able to tell my grandkids all of those kinds of things. Anyway, 16. What is your favorite book, movie, song? Why? I don't. I don't have a favorite book, movie, or song. I prefer reading over movies, but I will binge watch the movies too, or series. But I like books. I like all books, to be honest. I like nonfiction. I like fiction. I like things that are gonna provoke me to think and change, and, you know, my beliefs and my values and my morals. So, yeah. Movies, I prefer action movies and like witty comedy. Like, I like the what is it called? Bad Moms, like that kind of like funny, witty. I'm not really into like the stupid humor, like Dumb and Dumber. No offense if you like that. It's just not my cup of tea. Like, the only thing I ever got into was like, oh, I can't think of the movie. If it comes back to me, I will. Songs, I like a lot. I like rock. I Am Like the 80s band, hair band. I love them. Give me some Def Leppard, some Metallica, all of it. Give it to me. I also like, you know, the new stuff. I like manga and all kinds of, I like a lot of genres. Like, I just like music. Like, I can get down to some Bob Marley. I can get all of it. Like, give it to me. Number 17. If you could make one change in the world, what would it be? Oh, that's so hard. Oh, I think it would be like money. Like, money is like the necessary evil, but I can't even speak, but money creates a hierarchy that's ridiculous. It creates oppression. It creates like economic inequalities. It causes people to be crazy and do things that are not good for our environment or the people. So I think I would change somehow the structure of how money is, or how trade works, or something, because I am very passionate about our environment, and I don't know, like, I believe in climate change. I mean, I think we kind of saw the difference with when we had to stay at home, you know, like, we saw pollution levels drop. And if that's not an indication that what we're doing is not in balance with the earth, I don't know. I just think money is the root of all evil, and it just causes a bunch of freaking problems, and I would change how that works in order to create an equal playing field for everybody and our earth. 18. What do you love to do for or give to others? Not object but your personality. So I like cooking for people. I love cooking. I don't like the mess, but I love cooking. Like, I feel like it's an expression of love. Like, to sit there and make something for somebody and, you know, give it to them. I love doing that. I also like like if somebody's, you know, sick, or like if somebody's just having a baby, I love like going over and just like, here, let me clean your house, let me help you, like let me, something like that. I also like, you know, like lighthearted stuff. I like to, you know, brighten people's days. Like laughter is such a healer, and you know, so I like to make people laugh if I can. 19, what excites you? What excites me? Knowledge, learning. Like, I know I told you I'm such a nerd, but that kind of stuff excites me. Like learning new things and like putting them into practice, or like reading something and be like, yeah, my opinion, I have just validated it. Or like reading something and then it changing my opinion. And I like to evolve. I like to change. I like to be challenged. That excites me. And talking, like I love talking. I can talk all day and all night, and I love it. Number 20, what do you wish you did more of? I wish I could travel more and go on more adventures, because I want those stories when I get older. 21, pretend money is no object. What would you do? I would give as much of it away as I could. I would give a lot of my wealth to different charities, lots of different charities. I would travel. I would definitely like rip my kids out of school, and we would, you know, homeschool or whatever, and we would travel the world. And I would go on as many adventures as I could. I would go, you know, to Egypt and Rome and Greece and, you know, Costa Rica and Brazil and all over the place. Like, I would love to go to St. Petersburg. Like, wow, like just all over the place. I would travel, and I would see everything, and I would backpack, and yeah, I would just live life. I would carefree, and I would give as much away and help as many people along the way as I could. 22, what area of your life right now makes you feel the best and worst, and why? What makes me feel the best is what area of my life right now? I think what I like best is with the stay-at-home order, I realized that I am truly a teacher to my kids, and that I can do it. Like, I've toyed with sometimes like homeschooling, but I was really like scared. It was something I was scared of. And I know now that I could do it if I wanted to. What makes me feel the worst? The worst for me is, if I'm being honest, like my yelling. Like, I don't like when I allow myself to get out of control. Like, it drives me crazy. Yeah. 23, let's jump forward a year. What would you like to have achieved in the past year? I don't know. I think one thing would be switching over to, what is it called? Like reusable bags completely. Like, they have ones you can take to the store to put like your cucumbers in and stuff. Like, I want to like move to that completely instead of using the plastic bags. I'd like to do that over the next year. What else would I like to achieve? Going on some kind of adventure at least once a month. And just being in a place where I'm content with myself and helping my kids build their relationships. Because right now, some of my kids like are kind of like fighting, and they're they're just not understanding each other. The way they're communicating and the way that they're receiving is just going. So if I could help them with that, that would be great. Let's see, 24. What piece of advice would you give to a 5-year-old, a 16-year-old, 21-year-old, and somebody right now? I love this question. 5 years old, I would tell them, just keep playing. Play your entire life. Don't make everything such a big deal. Like, just play and be a kid forever. Be childlike. I mean, we have to grow up, but you know, keep that innocence that you have now. Not that they'd understand it, but I think it's important. 16-year-old, he's not the one. I think that 16-year-old girls just want to be in love and find that, you know, the person that's meant for them and their soulmate or whatever. And I would tell them, just wait. Give yourself time to grow, you know, meet lots of people, enjoy their company. They're probably not the one though. 21, I wish I would have kind of said 18, but think about that tattoo. I don't have any that I regret. I have right now 4. But I see a lot of like 18-year-olds and like 21-year-olds now, just like they just go out and get whatever. And I'd say think about it, because you know, you change over your life, and I think it's really important that if you're putting something on your body that's permanent, that it has a lot of symbolism and something that's timeless for you. And I don't think everybody thinks that through. So think about that tattoo before you get it. Like, get the piercings. Go for piercings. If you don't like it, you can take it out. The hole closes. You know what I mean? A tattoo, on the other hand, like, I don't know how much money a laser removal is. And from what I hear, like, it's lots of repetition and it doesn't always work. So think about it before you do it. And now, advice for somebody now. Breathe. It's not an emergency. Take a breath and breathe. And that gut instinct that you have, listen to it. Maybe that's for a 21-year-old too. Listen to your instincts. They're generally not wrong. Last but not least, question number 25. How do you want to be remembered in life? I want to be remembered as a kind person. I want to be remembered as a strong person. I want to be remembered as a person that stood up for people and told somebody they were wrong when they were wrong. I think it's really important that, but you do it kindly. Like, there's a difference between saying, hey, that's not okay, and being a dick. I don't want to be a dick. I just want to be an advocate for people and never stop evolving. I want to be remembered as somebody that always was evolving, always was learning, and never stopped. A formidable force. Yes, that's how I want to be remembered. So, I think that's all I got for today. This is kind of a long video, and my kids are gonna come in any minute now, I'm sure. So, if you have any more questions that you would like to know, like something silly or whatever, I guess the ordinary questions, my favorite color is green. Please leave them below and I will do my best to answer them. Anyhow, that's all I got for today. I hope you'll have a great week and I'll see you next time. Bye.